Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Help for the Guildless. My name, of course, is Antoine, and we have had some things going on in the media recently, haven't we? I mean, we have MAGA hats and smirking being new symbols of the white supremacist. We've had Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez saying that facts and being 100% accurate it should never trump emotion or being morally right. I mean, there's a lot of things going on. I wonder what I should talk about. I mean, I could go in depth with some YouTube drama and talk about Tonka Saw and Andy and the fight that they were supposed to have. You know what? I don't want to talk about that. It's been done to death. So let's talk about, well, someone new. Now, I've heard of him. I mean, he's Australian, and the only other Australians I know are Declan Black and Bering. And I wasn't sure if this was Bering without the cartoon bear or not. And then I heard what he sounded like and realized it was pretty much a dick with a human suit on. But I guess his name is the Angry Aussie. Well, let's see what he has to say. I mean, I guess he's supposed to be angry all the time, right?
G'day viewers, how are you? It's Wednesday.
Ah, God! What the... Alright, look, this is a video. You had some nice Zamfir music playing, some weird word in the background. You can't just pop up on screen. Do a transition or something. Have an intro that has, you know, bright red eyes, some very trendy music and a debonair smile, or whatever. Don't just pop up on screen, especially looking like a drowned New York rat with glasses. What's wrong with you?
Halfway through the week. How's it treating you? I hope you're okay. Look, Wangafat Wednesday is what normally happens now.
I'm sorry, what happens now?
Look, Wangafat Wednesday is what normally happens now.
What?
Look, Wangafat...
Who's fat?
Look, Wangafat Wednesday.
Wednesday definitely wasn't fat. I don't know what you're talking about.
Video where I talk about who or what am I not giving a fuck about today.
Is that what that means? Why don't you just say that? You don't need to make up a brand new word for it. That would be like me tearing apart your arguments as Hibbly Dibbly Thursdays. There, I just created something. Just for you. Hibbly Dibbly Thursdays. I don't know what it really means, so it doesn't matter. I thought you were supposed to be angry. You're being kind of nice. Is this what you do? You lull me in with a false sense of security with Zamfir music and a fake word? I'm waiting for the anger.
I just had the perfect example of it this week with those horrible little larval Catholic MAGA Chuds at the anti-abortion rally.
Horrible little larval Catholic MAGA Chuds. Oh, that's an insult to throw at someone. Alright, I guess you're talking about the Covington Catholic High School field trip that went viral recently. You know, the one where the young white high school aged children were accosted by a very racist, passive-aggressive Indian. I mean, the media really screwed the pooch on this one, didn't they?
It's just like, everything about them is so fucking vile that I just had trouble wrapping my head around it.
Are we talking about the same video? You know, the one that came out with a 3-minute clip or something on Twitter, where it was just a young white boy in a MAGA hat staring and smiling at a Native American man who was banging his drum and chanting in his face. We're talking about that video that went viral, right? Where the actual footage came out that was over 2 hours long, where it was the Indian that approached the boys. What was wrong with that? They didn't do anything. How is that vile? What is wrong with that? They didn't punch him, they didn't hit him, they didn't scream at him. As a matter of fact, they just stood there and took it. Did we watch the same video?
Oh God, did anyone else get whiplash trying to keep up with what we were supposed to be upset about? It's like, they're horrible, nasty, disrespectful little shits. Oh my God, they're innocent little children.
No. No one had a problem distinguishing who was innocent in this. It just seemed to be the mainstream media who wanted to keep their narrative running.
You know what the giveaway was?
Hold on. Let me get my tinfoil hat. Hold on. Okay, tell me the giveaway. I bet it's gonna have something to do with the fact that they were Catholic.
Is that they were fucking bussed in by a Catholic school to a rally to deny women bodily autonomy, and the smug little fucks all prancing around with their fucking MAGA hats on.
Damn, I had money on that. Thought it was just gonna be Catholic. So you're saying it's not only because of the fact that they're from a Catholic high school on a field trip to the nation's capital. You know, something that happens yearly with almost every single high school on the East Coast. But it was also because they support Donald Trump, who, as far as I can tell, has not gone about overturning Roe v. Wade. This is the second time in a row that this bodily autonomy for women's bodies has come out of fucking nowhere. Their field trip just happened to coincide with the protest that was going on. There were two different protests going on. Angry Aussie, I'm getting more angry than you are. Do you know what the word means? I don't think you do. For you, I think you think angry means stupid. That would make sense. You are a stupid Aussie.
And I find it hilarious. You get these conservative commentators going, oh, it's like the left just say, all you need to do is wear a MAGA hat and you're a racist. Fucking spot on, buddy!
Well, damn. All of these people must be racist. I mean, all I did was look up a Google image search and these people just popped up. There are a ton of non-white racists out there. Angry Aussie, you're putting your foot very far down your mouth hole, something that I'm starting to understand you need to keep shut.
That is an incredibly aggressive proclamation.
Yes, it was. Because you're wrong. Most of the time, people like you think words are aggressive when they disagree with you.
That you celebrate every vile thing Trump's done. All the sexism and misogyny, the racism, the homophobia, the persecution of transgender people, everything, all the thing, locking kids up in cages, lies, criminality. Wearing a MAGA hat is an incredibly aggressive stance saying, fuck you, I can say and do all this horrible shit because the president says it's okay.
Well, the first thing I have to say to that is citation needed for all of the things that you just claimed Trump has done. And as for the second part of that, again, you have to prove that he's done it first. All you have is conjecture. If he did everything that you're saying, well, then I guess he would have been impeached. And yet, we're coming up on the 2020 election cycle where he is yet to be impeached. He's still president. Impeaching a president doesn't work this way. You don't get to throw a dart at a board full of different things and say, this is what we're going to impeach him on today. The smaller things that you continue to harp on, the more important things, the things that really matter, are not going to be believed. Idiots like you don't understand that. Stop crying wolf.
So, you're telling me I'm not allowed to pass judgment on someone who's making a conscious choice to make such an aggressive statement? Fuck!
No, no one's saying that. What we're asking you to do, idiot Aussie, is use the lump that's 3 feet above your ass and actually think before you speak. Because when you don't, you look like a deer caught in the headlights of a car about to hit them going 80.
Like, absolutely those kids were horrible, and there's buckets of evidence for it. There are these people saying, oh look, here's a bit of video where they're not doing anything. Oh, side note, the group they clashed with, who different reports call them Black Israelites or Black Hebrews, you read a little bit about them, and it's really safe to say they seem to be a hate group, don't they?
Holy shit, it's the only thing he's gotten right in this video so far.
They're fucking awful. And they were baiting these kids, although I have to admit, I had a giggle when the Catholic priest was trying to round the kids up and they started calling him pedophile child rapist. I thought, well, where's the lie, honestly? But they're obviously horrible people.
Aussie, let me get this right. You think the hate group is funny because they're making fun of someone you don't like? You might want to rethink that statement, or people will start to think you agree with them. You know, like when your side does it to us. Funny that.
The Black Israelites are fucking awful people. They're a hate group. And horrible little chuds with their MAGA hats bust in by a Catholic church to protest at women's rights. They're a fucking hate group too. They're both fucking awful.
Except moronic Aussie. They were there on a field trip to the Lincoln Memorial. There just happened to be two different protests there that day. High school kids from a Catholic private school bust in on their field trip to their nation's capital is not a hate group because a few of them chose to wear Make America Great Again hats. You fucking twit.
And then the image that we all got to see was the Native American guy who stood between them doing a chant with his drums, singing a traditional song, and it was a tactic. And this guy is actually skilled and trained in de-escalation. It was a tactic to separate two groups who were being aggressive.
I've watched the video. The only group being aggressive was the Black Hebrew Israelites. The hate group, you know, the one that you just called a hate group, they were being aggressive. The kids were being kids.
You know what it's about polarizing? If someone is going to go down that route, I'm not wasting time. Okay? I could present evidence after evidence and it wouldn't affect those people at all. So I don't really feel like wasting my time.
You don't have to waste your time, Aussie. There's tons of videos of the unedited confrontation. It's 2 hours long. If you want to watch it, go ahead. The kids were doing nothing but being kids. And you're a fucking killjoy. You must have been the most boring goddamn person in school. Did you never have fun? Maybe that's why you are the way you are. Did you get picked on a lot when you were younger, Aussie? Did you not have many friends? Look, let's bridge the gap, okay? I will be your friend. I promise not to pick on you too much if you promise to stop talking in the near future.
And the way the Conservatives went, oh, they were horrible to those people online are horrible to those kids. People online are horrible, okay?
That's definitely something we can agree on.
And yes, anyone who threatened the kids or, you know, tried to dox them, or people who want to do stupid shit like, ooh, let's find out about their family. Let's find out about their parents and try and get them fired or ruin their jobs and careers. Fuck that noise. That is horrible behaviour.
I'd be careful there, Aussie. You're starting to sound like a decent human being.
While these kids are absolutely awful, they're just little shits. The fact is, they are teenagers, okay? And I challenge anyone to prove they went through life without doing shitty things as a teenager. I sure can't. I did awful things and stupid things as a teenager. I feel like you've got to hold out some hope that they'll get better, but that doesn't mean pretending what they did wasn't awful.
You know, he's right. They are teenagers. I said that earlier. They're going to make mistakes, and I have to give him credit for at least admitting that fact. But he then cancels all of that out by just saying, we have to admit that what they did was awful. What did they do? What did these high school kids do that was so awful, besides being accosted by a hate group and then having a Native American with a drum come up and chant in their face? What did they do? Please, enlighten me.
Because what they did was awful. Everything from just being there, bust in with their stupid fucking MAGA caps, and there's video of them harassing other people, and they were just obnoxious little shits.
The other videos in question do not provide sufficient evidence that it is the Covington Catholic High School kids, so you kind of have to throw that out. At this point, if you use it against them, it's just hearsay. I heard Angry Aussie is still a virgin. I mean, I don't know if it's true, but I've heard it from other people. Must be true. See how that works?
And one of the most telling bits I read with various people's responses, that very famous photo now of the kid with that horrible smug grin on his face, a black guy saying, everyone who's not white male knows that look. That is the look of smug superiority. That is the look of, I can do whatever I want. You're beneath me. You have no power. I have an entire structure behind me to protect me.
And all the fucking morons that said that have no idea what the word smug means. It's a very simple term, and it has a very simple definition. If you don't believe me, here it is. Smug. Adjective. Oh, just to let you know, this is from Merriam-Webster. The definition of smug is 1. Highly self-satisfied. 2. Trim or smart in dress. Or 3. Scrupulously clean, neat or correct. Now, if you want to muddle all 3 of those together, yes, you could somehow, someway, possibly get all of the bullshit that just spewed forth from your face hole. Other than that, he was staring at this Indian who was beating a drum and chanting in his face. What did you expect him to fucking do?
So, while this weird thing potentially has some things we can learn from, I don't have any time at all for the people falling over themselves to go, oh no, we transgressed against these kids so badly. Well, if you think you went too far, maybe fucking hold yourself in check. Again, little thing you will have noticed, I didn't rush any video out on the topic. In fact, I didn't rush to make much of a comment on it. I did retweet or share things that other people had observed and shared their experience of, but I stood back and let it go. But those kids aren't angels, they're little shits. And yes, if someone attacked them and threatened them, they're shits as well. But by the same token, people say, oh, they got death threats. Really? Really? People on the internet said something bad to them. Do you think these horrible, nasty little shits don't abuse and threaten people every single day on the internet?
And there you go again, getting really close to being a decent human being, Angry Aussie. Telling people that if they went after these high school students for being little shits, that they're shits as well. And then you go and make an assumption that these young men go out every single day and harass and defame and torment and torture just because they support Donald Trump. Oh, and happen to be Catholic. Let me let you in on a little secret there, Aussie. You can't oppress people just by being alive. Because what you're saying is the fact that they are nothing more than just white males is enough to demonize them and assume that they are the worst filth on the planet. Oh, and just to let you know there, Aussie, not all of the boys there were white. And those are my thoughts, folks. I'd love to know yours. Let me know in the comments. And if you'd like to keep the fun going, you can always join my Discord. The links are down below. You can talk to myself, the trio, and Sarah in the hideout. Or if you'd like to talk to the people behind the voices, you can always jump in behind the scenes and we can have ourselves a conversation there. You can also follow me on Twitter, where I will post randomly. If you'd like to support the channel and you enjoy what I do here, you can find my PayPal, Streamlabs, and Patreon in the description. But that's going to do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening. This has been Help for the Guildless. My name, of course, is Antoine, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening.